Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a kind of like first impressions and like demonstration of the Revolution Pro HD palette. This is their like amplified 35 palette, so there's 35 different shades in here, and it is the Defiant version, so it has like all these really like crazy pops of color, but also has like some more neutral tones. I am wearing it on my eyes right now, and I am going to do kind of like a try-on portion at the end of this video, so if you want to stick around and watch that part and see how it applies and everything and kind of my final thoughts, then just keep on watching. So first I'm just going to insert some clips of the swatches of all of the colors, and I am going to be doing them by columns, not like by the rows. I'm going to do them by columns, so like 5 each time kind of thing. So in the first column, there is resistant, audacious, passion, factitious, and uprising. In the second row, there is rebellion, gallant, unafraid, boundless, and revolution. In the third column, there is insolent, gusty, valiant, courageous, and mutiny. In the fourth column, there is daring, undaunted, righteous, worthy, and protest. In the fifth column, there is brassy, Heronic, disobey, relentless, and revolt. In the sixth column, there is defiant, intrepid, unruly, venture, and insubordinate. In the final column, there is fearless, spirit, cynical, daredevil, and relentless. First, I'm going to start off with the shade Venture with this little kind of fluffy crease brush. And this is pretty much the only, that was my dog. This is pretty much the only transition-y, or not transition-y, but kind of like all over lid shade in the palette that's matte. Like, there are some amazing colors in here, but they didn't really offer a whole lot of, kind of just like base colors to work with, since I did put a little bit of concealer all over my eyelid area just to use as a primer. I do like to set it before I go in with like my really intense colors and everything with like a more neutral tone. So Venture is like pretty much the only one in there that I can really use as a all over lid shade just to set everything down. It did do a really good job though of kind of just setting that all in place and just giving an even canvas for us to work with. So next I'm going to take Daredevil on the same brush, and I'm just going to kind of put this into the crease area, just messily getting it all in there. I do think this palette may work better if you do have like just an additional palette that's basically just all matte transition sort of shades, like kind of like the Urban Decay Naked palettes, the ones that are fully just all matte and everything, and they're just transition shades, because this palette does give you some options but not a lot. By the way, we are ignoring anything that's going on around my mouth or on my forehead. My skin has just been like sensitive to everything, and I don't know what happened. I broke out to something, well, not broke out, but I got these weird little bumps all over my forehead and kind of on other parts of my skin. For some reason, I don't know what product it was that caused that, but then I also tried like a lip kit from Sephora, and one of the products in there like made like the skin around my mouth kind of like freak out, so it's kind of like a reddish color right now still, since that was like a couple days ago. So if you can see that, I apologize, just ignore it. So I've been seeing a lot of like purple to gold like makeup looks recently. Like here's one. Obviously mine's not gonna look like this, but here's one example, and I just think it looks really pretty, and I kind of want to try it today since we do have so many colors to like choose from in this palette. So I think that's what I'm gonna try and do. It's obviously not going to look anything like the professional pictures here, but yeah, I am going to try and recreate it kind of, or just kind of get inspiration from that for this look. So I'm just going to take this Wet n Wild P15 brush next, and I think I'm going to go in with the shade Revolution just to deepen in the crease area a little bit more, but I do want to kind of keep this a bit lower. I don't want to go too far up. So I decided to swatch out a few of the different colors. So this one is Fearless, this one is Defiant, this one is Cynical, this one is Brassy, and this one is Audacious. So as you can see, a couple of them are pretty similar, these two, so I think I'm going to start with this one, which is Cynical. And I think I'm going to try and start to build that up kind of on the outer half of my eye, I think. I've never actually used like this pigmented of like a purple shade before, so I am a little bit nervous about using it and like how it's going to turn out. But I thought I would try something new. I don't know what kind of brush to use. Alright, so I think I'm just going to take this little smudge brush, oh my gosh. So I think I'm just going to take this little smudge brush from e.l.f. and go in with that Clinical shade and just kind of start to build it up on the outer part of the eye and see how that goes. Never mind, change of plans. I'm going to use a little eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. instead, just because that one was too small and it was taking too much time to do it all, so I'm going to try with this. I might pack on the shade more with the other one afterwards, but just to get it on there, I'm going to use a bigger brush. Okay, so basically I just went in with the eyeshadow brush, kind of packed on it, like the color onto the lid, kind of went back over it with the first brush I was using, the smudge brush, just to kind of get some more color on there, and then I ended up just packing a little bit on with my fingertip, which I do find with these shadows that they kind of really stick to your finger when you're trying to like swatch them or put it onto the eye, but it did work and it definitely did help. I'm actually going to use that technique again with the Defiant shade. And I'm just going to try and get like a generous amount on there and kind of put it all in the center area of the lid. So finally I'm going to take that smudger brush one more time and take that shade and just kind of go over top and make sure everything's kind of just in place more precisely, since my fingertip I can't really apply it as precisely. And I think I'm actually going to spray this brush really quick with just some like Max Fix Plus or something, just to see if I can get this shade to kind of like pop a little bit more, because it is metallic but it's not like super metallic. So that definitely did help. I'm just going to go in with the Wet n Wild brush again with that Daredevil shade and just kind of go over the crease area with that, just to kind of make sure that is still there and kind of prominent. We will blend it out a little bit more later on. Now I'm going to attempt to go in with the Fictitious shade. I think that's how you say it. I don't really know. And I think I'm going to go in with my finger again and just start to press this into the inner part of the lid. And I'm just going to go with this eye crease brush. This is not what this is supposed to be used for, but I am going to go into that Goldie shade and just kind of like blur the line here between the two colors. And I'm just going to take this little concealer brush by e.l.f. and I'm going to spray it with the Fix Plus. And I'm just going to go into the light golden shade again and just try and pack that in a bit more because it's not really coming off that bright. Alright, and lastly, I think I just want to go in with kind of like a darker outer shade just to deepen like the outer part of the eye. And I think I'm going to go into Protest, which is kind of like a kind of bluish gray color. At least that's what it looked like when I swatched it. And I think I'm just going to take this brush here. It's the AOA Studio E124 brush. And it's just kind of like this little kind of fluffy pencil brush. And I'm hoping this will like be okay to get in there. Alright, and then I'm going to take the Wet n Wild brush again and put into that Venture shade and just kind of blend out this color here. That was Bud. He's having some dreams right now, and he snores and makes noises like all night long. So that is what he's doing right now. Alright, so now that I have that part done, I'm going to put on the rest of my face makeup, and then we're going to continue with like the under the eye portion of this. So I just put a little bit of foundation on. I just used the Ordinary Serum Foundation and a little bit of the Naked Skin Concealer. And I'm just going to finish up the under part of my eye, and then I'm going to put the rest of my makeup on, and then I'll be back. So one thing I did want to say is I noticed like I had no fallout at all, which is pretty crazy with these like pretty insane colors in this palette. So that's pretty cool. I do have to say the colors aren't as vibrant as I wanted them to be, but I still do like it. It's a little bit more wearable this way, I think. But if you do really want those really vibrant pops of color, you might have to use like a really good eyeshadow primer, or really like wet the brush, put it on that way, pack it on with your fingers, do some other little tricks to really like kind of bring out that color. But first of all, I'm just going to take this AOA Studio brush again and take a little bit and just kind of drag it under the lash line, kind of connecting it up to the top. And then I'm just going to take the Cynical shade. I'll just take the same brush again and just kind of run that like 3/4 of the way under. And then I will take a little bit of the Defiant shade and kind of pop it in the center part here. And lastly, taking the concealer brush again from e.l.f. and that Factitious shade, and just kind of stabbing that into here. And then for more of like a pop for the inner corner, I'll take the same brush, and I think I'm going to go in with the shade Resistance. It's definitely more of a pop, I think. Alright, so this is just what it looks like so far. I am just going to pop on some other face makeup, some liner, and some eyelashes, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I put on the rest of my makeup, and I put on false eyelashes, and like honestly this is like my 3rd time ever putting them on, and I suck. So we're just going to ignore that part, but I'm going to zoom you guys in and kind of show you up close what it's looking like, and then I'm just going to talk about the palette really quickly. So this is just what it looks like on the eyes, so it is quite vibrant, but not as vibrant as I thought it was going to be. They are really pretty colors though, and I'm pretty happy about the way it turned out. So my final thoughts, just like doing this look and everything, I found that the eyeshadows blended out pretty well. Like the matte colors really worked very well, and I do like the shimmer colors. Some of them have more payoff than others. The only 2 colors honestly in this palette that didn't have like a good formula in my opinion are these 2 right here, the like purple and pink color, the matte ones. I've heard that that's like really hard to make, so I understand, but yeah, those ones you'll see in the swatches like aren't that great. But I really like that there was like no fallout at all, and I really do like how like it turned out. And even though they don't have a lot of transition shades and stuff, the ones that they have I think will go with like a lot of looks, so that it is very useful. And I do like that they have a lot of deeper shades in the palette so that you can really like smoke out the outer edge and everything. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this, and I really do like that they have neutrals as well as like the splashes of colors. I do wish they had some more like blinding like inner corner sort of colors, but I'm still really happy how this turned out. I did notice at one point when I was blending the purple, that was bad again, when I was blending the purple shade out, at one point when I was putting the second purple shade kind of over top in the middle, it kind of took away the first purple shade for a sec, almost, and then I was able to build it back up again, so I was able to even it back out, but it did kind of initially take that away and then re-add it, so it was kind of weird that it did that. I was like, oh no, I hope I didn't just wreck like the whole look. But yeah, overall I'm just really happy with this palette, and I think it worked out really well. I do like how the shades blended out, and yeah, I do wish they were a little bit more pigmented, but honestly, like, I still really like how the look turned out. If it was more pigmented, I don't think it would have been as wearable as it is. So I do really like how it turned out. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!